Hi guys, my name is Rianne, this is Dan.
Hello.
And this is Archie. So today we're going to be talking about plot twists. Dan, can you tell me what your favourite plot twist is?
I love a film with a good plot twist in it, and it's hard to pick just one. Obviously, Star Wars, that classic moment, I am your father, that lives long in the memory. So those are a couple of mine. How about you?
Yep. So for me, I have so many, but I think the one that got me the most was this film called Inception. Basically, it's the whole question of whether you're asleep or you're awake, and the film ends where we think this guy is awake, but actually this little icon he has which tells him if he's asleep or awake is still spinning, which means he's asleep.
What is a plot twist?
A plot twist is a point in a film where the whole game changes, where you thought it was going in one direction and then it just completely turns around and goes this complete opposite way.
Very good. And we want to spend this video unpacking one of the great plot twists that has ever happened, ever in human history. And we thought, you know, we could sit here and chat to you about it, but it's a lovely day outside. So we thought we'd take you to a nice location and talk to you about the world's greatest plot twist. Let's go.
Come on, Archie.
You can read about the greatest plot twist of all time in the Gospels. That's the first 4 books of the New Testament. So you'll find it in Matthew chapter 28, you'll find it in Mark chapter 16, in Luke chapter 24 and John chapter 20. This is the moment where not just the story of the Bible totally changes on its head, but the whole story of human history, past, present and future, changes as well. The run up to this part of the story is pretty bleak. Jesus comes down from heaven to earth, fully man and fully God, and he comes to tell us about who God is, and he does that through amazing sermons. He comes to show us who God is, and he came to demonstrate to us that there is a different way of living. Jesus came to change humanity in essence, and that of course did not go unnoticed. In fact, he ruffled a few feathers. The religious leaders of the day saw Jesus as a threat to them, and so they tried to paint this picture of Jesus as a political activist, someone that was a threat to Rome itself and the emperor of Rome. The problem with all this is that Jesus had done nothing wrong. He'd lived a life that was blameless and pure and good, and so even when the religious leaders did manage to get him arrested, the political leaders of the day couldn't find anything to charge him on. In fact, Pilate basically says to the crowd that were gathered, look, I can't find anything wrong with this man, what do you want me to do with him? But the religious leaders had managed to drum up the crowd, and so because of their pressure, eventually Pilate handed over Jesus to the crowd to be killed. Jesus is beaten, is whipped to within an inch of his life, is mocked, is spat at, and is totally humiliated. And after all of that, he is forced to carry a cross, 2 heavy bits of wood stuck together up a hill, a little bit like this one, where he is eventually hung up on that cross, nailed to it, to die by crucifixion. And they lay him in a tomb. And that could have been the end of the story of a good man who died.
But here comes the greatest plot twist of all time. After 3 days, Jesus makes an amazing comeback. Jesus was alive. At the center of the Bible is God, and at the center of God is love. And at the center of God's love is self-sacrifice. So this moment is the center of the center of the center of the Bible. This is the moment that human history hangs on. Because when Jesus died, it wasn't because he was accused of being a political revolutionary, but actually for a greater purpose.
2 Corinthians 5:21 says that Jesus was without sin, yet for our sake shared our sin, so that in union with him we can share the righteousness of God. Jesus became a perfect sacrifice for all the stuff we've ever got wrong and will ever get wrong. And when he died on the cross, he took on all of our sin and shame and the powers of darkness and death and defeated them. This is why this is the plot twist to end all plot twists, because we don't have to live in guilt and in fear anymore. That Jesus died the death that we should have died so that we can live the life that he should have lived. This is the gospel. This is the plot twist. The question is, what are you going to do about it?
So if you like this video, then please give it a big thumbs up. If you or anyone you know can benefit from the video that you've just watched, or any videos that you have watched before, then please share them across. And if you haven't yet already, subscribe to our channel.
See you later.